everything has chemistry, and it's becoming somewhat of a problem. Hey guys, what's up? It's Julie the Bibliophile here for the third video in our Librarians Valentine's Week. Today I am going to talk about what I ship in the Librarians. Now, I've never considered myself a multi-shipper, and I could never exactly relate when people say they ship everything, because to me, shipping something has always meant I want them to be together. In the end game, this is who I want together. I don't want them to be with anyone else. And so I really consider that, where I'll have my main OTP with a character, and I'm really not going to read any fan fiction for them with any other character, because it just bothers me because it's not this other character. Like, I'm not going to go off shipping Cassandra and Eve because I ship Eve and Flynn, for example, even if I think they had potential. But I did write out a list, and I do realize that while I have my OTPs that I want as my main ones, there are other ships that I do think could be cute, that I do think have potential, that I wouldn't turn my nose up at them if they were to happen, even though I don't necessarily ship them because of my OTPs. But I'm just going to go through the list, the different categories, and we're just going to talk about it. Okay, so first I have my 3 OTPs. Well, really only 2 of them are OTPs. One of them is new, becoming an OTP, but I'll get to that. First OTP, my favorite ship ever, and my favorite ship in the show, Jake and Cassandra. I just want them. I want them to just get together already, and I really don't know where the writers stand, because season 1 and season 2, it very much seemed like this is a slow burn, this is gonna happen, and even up until like episode 3 of season 3, it seemed like that too. Reunion of Evil seemed to be a huge indicator, like something is happening. Now, we don't see much more in season 3, however, there are hints that I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Something may be happening, but if this does happen, this is the slow burn romance, which is always seen as like the most epic ship in a show. The slow burn, the when are they gonna get together, when are they gonna kiss, they've been loving each other from afar and pining and not realizing they're in love for so long. And hopefully next season we can see some great Cassandra moments. I just love them because like they're kindred spirits and friends to lovers. They hit all my ultimate weaknesses in a ship, and I'm gonna talk about them more in future videos, but for now that's all I'm gonna say. Next, we have the only fully canon ongoing ship in the show, Eve and Flynn, also known as Evelyn. Oh, my babies. Oh, my babies. Oh, my babies. Oh, my babies. They are such an epic love story. Probably one of the most epic love stories I have ever encountered in fiction. Their tagline, I would say, is always and forever, but the description of their relationship tagline is real love is hard. And, like, because that's their whole story, is they go through a lot of obstacles and learning to accept each other. And can they just get married already? Can they just get married already? Because, like, please. Please. There's also some merit to a theory where they might be the next Charlene and Judson, but I'm going to do a whole video about that in the future, because if that doesn't happen, then there's a lot of evidence the writers have to explain. Speaking of which, my third ship, that's half a ship, half an OTP, is Charlene and Judson. Now, I kind of suspected they had a thing. This started as a crack ship. After I saw the third movie and they told Flynn that they lived like celibate monks, I'm like, yeah, you do. But then season 3 came in and I'm like, wait a minute. I thought maybe this is actually a thing, and it became a headcanon over a crack ship. And then, end of season 3, we got canon confirmation that they did have a thing, and they were the first librarian and guardian, just like Eve and Flynn, and we know they've loved each other then over a millennium in the library together as immortal. What even? Next, I have just a plain old ship where I do think they're cute and they are canon, but I don't necessarily call it an OTP. I don't think I can, because we only have 1 episode of them. That is Ezekiel and Cindy. I have wanted an Ezekiel romance for a long time, and this was just sugary sweet. And, like, he's like, oh, you're beautiful just the way you are. Oh my god. They're sugary sweet. They're just sugary sweet. The next category is fairly long, and these are ships that I think they're cute. Like, I think this could be a really nice relationship, and I would probably be supporting it as a main ship or OTP if I didn't already have the existing OTP or ship with said characters. These are ships that maybe I think have potential. I think they'd be a really sweet relationship, and I'm just gonna go ahead and list them off. Jake and Mabel. Yeah, Jake and Mabel, we had them in the one episode, The City of Light, in season 1. They were kindred spirits in terms of, like, you know, being stuck in a certain place and wanting to go explore the world. Cassandra and Estrella, also a one episode canon romance, and I talked about this in yesterday's vlog about, Cassandra, like, and Estrella saving her life. Cassandra needed to believe that life was worth living because she was dying, and Estrella helped her believe in that and fight for herself. Next, I have Flynn and Emily from the second Librarian movie. They were like an angsty, like, hate-to-love ship, hate sex, but I thought they were really cute. I liked them a lot, and I think were I not so invested in Flynn and Eve, I would have been really sad about Emily leaving. Flynn and Emily are like my second choice, next to Flynn and Eve in terms of a ship. Woo! Next up, speaking of which, I have Flynn and Simone. This is from the third Librarian movie. They were kind of like an insta-love thing, and it was star-crossed love because Simone was a vampire who did have to die, and when she died, it was really, really sad because she kind of loved Flynn like the rest of the love interests hadn't. She had the potential to be an Eve, but she was a vampire, and she died. So, yeah. Next up, I have Eve and Sam, also canon from the 6th episode of season 2 and the Infernal Contract. I thought they had the potential to be cute just because I'm really always in support of old flame ships. That's one of my weaknesses. And we know they dated in the past. We don't really know much about their relationship in the past, but we know they used to work together in the military. They were like best friends. There's this whole concept of you call, I come. Even though they dated and broke up, they're still best friends to the point of if you call me and you need me, I'm there. And I think that could have been a really sweet relationship if I wasn't so invested in Eve and Flynn. Next up, I have, kind of just gonna pair these two together, Jake and Lamia and Cassandra and Lamia. Now this is interesting considering that the reason I don't support these ships fully is because I ship Jake and Cassandra so much, but I ship them both with Lamia. Okay? I think it would have been really, really cool to have a Lamia redemption arc. I really think Lamia deserved a redemption arc, and I think a romance with Jake or a romance with Cassandra both had a lot of potential. We saw a lot of chemistry between both those ships. We saw a lot of flirting between Jake and Lamia in the first season, and I just like the potential, man. The potential! So my next category is kind of mixed into a lot. These are ships that I saw the potential, and I saw the potential for it, but I don't really ship it. And I love their platonic relationship, but I do see the potential for a romantic relationship with things the show has given us. First, in the middle, kind of like half I love the platonic, but I don't really ship it, but I see the potential, and half I do sort of ship it, is Flynn and Cassandra. I think, had the show gone in a totally different direction from the get-go, Flynn and Cassandra could have been a really cute ship, because I love that little hug, in the first episode, but while I do understand that as, like, a platonic love sort of hug, like, she's just so grateful to have him, like, taking her in, because she's never had any opportunity to do anything in her life, and it could have been sweet, but moving forward in the show, we really established a platonic thing between them, and it's a little bit more like big brother, little sister. Same sort of thing with Flynn and Cassandra, where I do half kind of ship it, but not really. I ship it less than I ship Flynn and Cassandra. I have Jake and Eve. Now, in the first season, there was a lot of chemistry seemingly between them, and I thought for sure that they were establishing like a love triangle between Jake and Flynn and Eve. And I also thought they were establishing a love triangle between Jake and Ezekiel and Cassandra. Luckily, we got no love triangles, but I do think Eve and Jake could have a romance were they did not so strongly brother and sister now. Now I really see them as a very strong brother-sister relationship if they should start to take this in a different direction, which clearly they won't, but if they had, that could have been a cute romance. And finally on this list, I have something that I really don't ship at all, just because I don't like the age gap, and that's Cassandra and Ezekiel. I saw the subtext for them in the first season. That kind of faded away. There was a little bit in the second season as well. The age gap kind of prevents me from really shipping Ezekiel with anybody on the main team, but I do, while I love Cassandra and Ezekiel as a big sister, little brother thing, I could potentially get behind it if it were a romance. And finally, I have one crack ship that just came to my mind one day when I was brainstorming random fanfics, and that is two aforementioned people to ship Flynn and Eve with. I have Emily and Sam. I really don't know why my brain likes this so much, but Emily's like a female Flynn, and Sam is like a male Eve. And Sam flirts with everything that moves, and Emily, like, punches anything in the face that moves towards her. And, like, they were each, like, in a potential romance with Eve and Flynn, and I do think that Emily and Flynn could still stay friends, and Sam and Eve clearly are still friends, to the point where I think Emily and Sam could be at Eve's wedding, and then maybe they could meet up and talk about Eve and Flynn. And like, slowly somehow fall in love. I don't know why I ship it. I don't know why, but I do. I'm sorry. Okay, that's it for my librarian ships. I'll see you tomorrow when I'm gonna delve deeply into some of these, and I'm gonna talk about all about Jake and Cassandra, my loves. Okay, hope you're enjoying your Valentine's week. Hope you had a nice Valentine's Day yesterday, and I will see you tomorrow, my lits. Bye-bye.